Hey everybody, and welcome to the live stream for January. We're going to take a look at a couple of news items I want to talk about, and we're going to take a look at some of the films that we reviewed for the month of January, which was Emancipation, uh, Guillermo del Toro's, God dang, I did it again, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and Troll, right?
Yes.
And then we're going to take a look at the movies that we're going to review for February, which we're going to do the theme of Oscar buzz. So we're going to basically take a look at not all of the movies on the Best Picture list, the nominees, but we'll pick three of them that the group consensus is to want to go watch. So one of the first
Yeah.
things I wanted to talk about real quick, just get through some of these stuff. So it's interesting. Couple months ago, I think, November-ish, or maybe it was the December live stream, we talked about John Williams was talking about retiring from
Yeah.
being a composer. You guys remember that?
Eh,
Yep.
Wrong.
Well,
He
that
pulled
is
a
now
Tom Brady.
wrong.
He
Pulled
did
a
pull a
Tom
Tom
Brady.
Brady.
Yep.
Sports references. Cool.
Tricked you. I'm still composing. Let's go.
Yeah, so basically he said he can't really imagine a life without music.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Well, you
if I
heard.
spent my whole life composing music, I would think that
Mm.
I would want to compose more. I
Well, you heard what
compose until I
Spielberg
die.
said.
What he
You heard
said?
what Spielberg said. He when he heard about it, he's like, "Well, that's news to me. What am I going to do?" Like he was totally lost. He's like, that just ruined his world right there.
What am I
I
going to go to
imagine
Thomas
if
Newman?
if John Williams retires, when he retires, Spielberg's done. He's like, I'm not doing it
Hmm.
anymore.
Yeah,
They
I
have
heard that
to.
Spielberg's next movie is going to be that Steve McQueen movie Bullet from what, like 68. He's going to do a
Is he?
Composed by
remake of
John
that.
Williams.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I think he wants
Probably.
Williams to compose it.
Of course he does. They're thick as thieves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1968.
yeah. Oh, I was right. I
Good
was a
job.
guess.
1968.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be Bradley Cooper as Bullet in the Steve McQueen role.
Oh, wow.
So
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. Remember it being kind of cool, from what I remember. So anyway, yeah, just little thing. John Williams, not he's basically not retiring, and he's not dead yet. So two good things.
Yes.
That's a positive. The
Way
other
to
thing,
start the show on a positive.
I'm looking
Yeah.
up. They have done 20 films together.
20.
Holy cow.
Wow,
There you go.
that is quite
That's
a
it.
lot, actually.
Because I know he's composed a lot of stuff. Only 20 films. That's
I mean,
seems a little low.
I think only. I mean, maybe Roger Corman could have a could have a composer that long.
Maybe.
With that
Yeah.
many films. I don't
can't
know.
I can't see a Corman film with the Williams score. It doesn't
That
add
would
up.
be awesome.
He,
That would
he
be
can't. He
so
can't afford
cool.
John Williams.
I know that'd be hilarious.
But John,
Williams would have to do it pro bono.
charity case. Yeah, exactly. Charity case.
So the other thing I wanted to talk about real quick was the trailer for the highly anticipated Mel Brooks History of the World Part 2 dropped about
yeah.
like a week or so ago at the time of this recording.
Mhm.
Big fan of History of the World Part 1. How about you guys?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite Brooks films.
It's pretty good.
The if I'm not mistaken, at the end, they they tease some other what part 2 could possibly have in there. So unfortunately, we're not going to see like Hitler on ice or anything like that, um, which I think would be fantastic. Or Jews in space, that which we kind of got with Spaceballs, I guess.
Yeah.
But the basically it's going to start on March 6th, so it's quickly coming up here, and it's going to be over the course of it's like a 4-day event. So I think they're going to have like maybe 4 episodes, but another place I heard was 8 episodes, so they might release 2 a day or something like that. I don't know, but it's going to be on Hulu. I would say get a free
Yeah.
trial of Hulu just for that 4-day event thing if possible. I would definitely
Yeah.
check that thing out.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, with the amount of people in it. It's basically just throwing spaghetti at the wall of, well, let's just throw a bunch of comedy skits from Mel Brooks's head into this feature film and let's roll.
Yeah, I listened to an in-depth interview with oh, what's his name? The comedian. It's just on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, that
narrows
guy.
it down a lot.
Yeah, he's the creator of Big Mouth on Netflix.
Bill Burr.
No, shoot, I can't remember.
Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to a really long interview, in-depth interview about this. Yeah, basically it was Mel Brooks literally phoned up Nick Kroll, and Kroll thought it was a prank. Like he didn't think it was really Mel Brooks because that's like one of his comedic icons, which he is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it was Mel Brooks who finally decided, God, he's like what, 85, He's something like that. Somebody look it up for me real quick. How old Mel Brooks is?
Gosh, he was born in 26, so
Yeah,
he's old.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, Brooks called Nick Kroll up and pitched him this idea. And so Nick Kroll is like a head writer. Mel Brooks is an actual like contributing writer. And according to Kroll, he said Mel Brooks is like still actively got it, which I find amazing. Do you find it?
He's
Kyle?
going to
Well,
be
he's almost
97
100
year. He's a
'cause
90.
it's-
He's almost 97 years old.
97. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Kyle said he was born in 26. I'm like, it's quite close to 26 again.
Yeah,
He's,
it is. It's very true. Holy cow.
he's a Taurus. I didn't know that. I'm a Taurus.
Oh, I thought you said tortoise.
We'll get there eventually, okay?
John has his
Just
own zodiac signs.
Yeah, it's just John and Mel Brooks in there, the tortoises.
I don't remember that.
No,
sign?
yeah, but like I was saying, Kroll said that like Mel Brooks is like still with it, like he's actively contributing to the script and ideas and jokes and stuff. And he said like it's been the highlight of his career. So I find that really cool. That actually makes me want to see it more. I watched the trailer. The trailer looks it looks kind of okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like a Mel Brooks kind of thing to me, but we'll see. I'm still gonna watch them. So,
absolutely.
what about you guys?
Oh yeah, I'm
No,
excited
yeah.
for it. I'm ready to I'm ready to dive in. I want to hit the fast forward button to March. Yeah, very excited.
You're gonna switch the lawnmower to rabbit mode instead of
Yeah, I'm gonna go to
tortoise
rabbit mode instead of tortoise mode. What zing? Full circle.
Yep, that's how we do it here. We used to have a circle.
We used to have one.
Um,
Have you
all right,
guys
well-
seen? Speaking of Mel Brooks, have you guys seen the documentary, The Automat?
no, I do want to see that though.
It's very good. Yeah, it's different, but he goes and he like basically writes a song for it and tells the 100-year story of the iconic automat, which used to be I think all over the United States at some point, where you'd put in a nickel or something like that and you turn a dial and then a sandwich will pop out. It's basically a restaurant, but it's a giant vending machine, and they had fresh food. It was made fresh from like a place off site, and then they shipped it all into this restaurant, and people came in and got cheap coffee, cheap food, and all for like a nickel or a dime or something like that.
Yeah, if you listen to Brooks's autobiography, or read, I guess if you're a book reader, which I highly recommend if you're a Brooks fan. Very interesting. Like some of his war stories. I didn't even know he was in World War II. I didn't know he was served. And I didn't know that his brother was shot down from a plane. Anyway, highly recommend his autobiography. It's very good. But I believe he talks a lot about automat. Not a lot, but he talks a little bit about the automat and stuff like that.
Which he also brings it up too. It's almost like listening a little bit to his autobiography, just because he talks about him and his brother, or his brothers coming in there, and he would split up dimes, or nickels amongst them, and give them each like 5 nickels, and they'd have a heyday. And you could either get a sandwich and a coffee, or a soup and a coffee, or whatever. So it was pretty neat little documentary. I think it was on PBS at first, but It might be on Netflix, I think now.
Okay. Well, and the last thing I really wanted to talk about is kind of the news that's on everybody's radar here is the Alec Baldwin. There's an update to the accidental Rust shooting. So if anybody remembers, it happened about 18 months ago. That Alec Baldwin on the set of his new movie Rust accidentally discharged a prop gun, uh, fatally killing. Well, obviously fatally killing. That's kind of redundant, but accidentally killing the cinematographer, um, whose name
Yeah.
was I have it, Helena Hutchins,
Yeah.
and injuring the director Joel Souza, who was hospitalized for about a month and then released, and he's made like a full recovery since then. But now it's taken over a year, but basically they've now officially filed charges against
Mhm.
Alec Baldwin and the armorer of the set.
Yep.
They both been charged with both of them with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. So it
Yeah, the
will,
armorer is Hannah Gutierrez Reed.
yes,
Both of them could be charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter for their roles in Hutchins' death.
yes, which each count, from what I've read, could be up to 5 years of prison.
Yep,
So
5
up
years
to
or
10
18
years.
months in prison. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll definitely have to see. I'm kind of interested in this.
Yeah,
It's
which it
Yeah, go
brings
ahead.
me to it's a very touchy subject to me, just because, you know, being that, I like firearms, and every to me it seems like everybody that is handed a firearm, no matter if somebody tells you it's loaded or unloaded, you always need to check it. You always need to treat it like it's loaded.
Mhm.
Point the barrel towards something that you're, you know, to basically the you don't want to point it at somebody that or something that you want to destroy. That's the
Right.
number one thing. It's and I guess the pistol or the revolver was a single action revolver, and there's things on. He said that he didn't pull the trigger, or he didn't have this finger on the trigger. Well, you had to actually pull back the hammer in order to pull the trigger in order for it to go off. And so, I mean, there's definitely a lot of things. And if he is charged, then there's going to be a court date and all that kind of stuff. So this could get dragged out for a very long time.
So what exactly is a prop gun? So it's not a prop gun; it's a real gun.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
And
it was a real gun, and this is my problem with it, Ron, is you have someone on set, the armorer is in charge of all the weapons on a set, and it's their job to maintain their functionality, maintain their inventory, and maintain their safety. That armorer, nobody gets that weapon without the armorer handing it to them and essentially assigning them the weapon. There is no excuse for live ammunition to be on the set of a movie. None.
Even though, I mean, even if say they use blanks, obviously, but even blanks do have some sort of
They have a
stuff in
wad.
them. They have a
Yeah.
wad or something like that. But if this firearm wasn't cleaned or anything else like that, there could be some sort of metal fragments that could be in there. I mean, you've got gunpowder that's projecting whatever's in this barrel out.
Well, that's what happened to what's his name on the Crow?
Yeah. Oh shoot, can't think of his name
Oh
now.
yeah, where they went, it basically had it really too close to them.
Well, what happened was Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Bryce Lee's
what
son.
from my recollection, and forgive me if I'm incorrect, but there was a fragment of something of a previous
Yes.
round or something that was lodged in the barrel. And of course, you're supposed to look down the barrel. But of course, if it's a 22, I don't know what caliber it was, but if it's a 22, that's kind of hard to do. But what happened was when they shot the blank, that wad came at the uh,
debris.
gunpowder ignited, the wad came out and pushed that
Yeah.
that piece of
middle
that
fragment
fragment. Yep, went right. I think it hit him in the chest, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah, the scene is like him carrying a paper bag of groceries, and it shoots through the groceries and into his chest. And
Yeah, and that was that right there. Freak accident. This on Rust, completely 100% avoidable.
yeah,
No,
so
yeah.
You don't
let
put
me.
live ammunition on a movie set. You just don't
Yeah,
do it.
exactly. And it's actually disputed about where that live action or live ammunition came from. Nobody knows, or at least nobody's saying. So that's like one of the big mysteries of the case. Let me just real quick. So the if nobody knows exactly kind of like what happened, I have like a broad facts about the case I want to read through here real quick. Um, so basically, this happened on October 21st, 2021. Prior to the filming of the scene, Gutierrez Reed, the props assistant who doubled as the onset armor, she examined the gun, which was a replica of a 45 long Colt. She looked inside the barrel, spun the barrel, visually confirmed that she believed the bullets in there that were dummy bullets, and she handed the gun over to the assistant director and the production safety coordinator David Halls to take to the filming set. Um, basically, the safety protocol calls for Gutierrez Reed to have checked all the bullets in front of Baldwin herself. So she handed it to the assistant director to go hand to Baldwin, when she should have handed it straight to Baldwin and did the live checking right in front of him. You
Mhm.
know, and according to the lawsuit, the gun wasn't actually intended to be used in the filming for that day, but the assistant director wanted her to have it like ready in case they needed it, in case they
Yeah.
decided to shoot that scene. Um, and what ended up happening is they shot all the scenes for the day, but the scene was going to be shot like the next day, I believe. So Baldwin wanted to do some practicing with it. He wanted to rehearse. That's the word I was looking for. With the gun. So she checked the gun, gave it to Halls. Halls told he yelled "cold gun" on set, which means it's not live rounds in it. And then
Right.
he handed it over to Baldwin, who himself did not check it. I don't know if he would know what to look for versus a blank versus a live round. I don't think the typical layman
Yeah.
does. But then he says he didn't pull the trigger, but we don't know. They're still looking through the footage and all that stuff to kind of try to figure out what's actually going on. So
So,
yeah,
just right quick, your screen is backwards.
my screen
Your
is
s- your
backwards.
your shirt's not as cool as mine because it's backwards.
Damn it.
But as you fix that, I I kind of was wondering too. Is like, why in the world is the AD not charged or facing charges in this too? And I'm because if the armorer hands the AD the firearm saying cold gun, and then the AD hands it to Baldwin saying cold gun, he also has a part in this. But I just looked at it and it says Hall avoided facing trial by pleading guilty to negligent use of a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
So
So he's in
he
trouble.
basically he pleaded guilty. He took the plea deal. He's like, I'm out of here. That was totally my fault. So there he is.
Yeah.
I think for people like me who don't know a ton about the industry and how things like prop guns work, like Justin said, replica gun. I hear replica gun. I think, well, this isn't something that can kill someone. This isn't a deadly
Right.
weapon.
It was a prop gun. Yeah.
It's that's kind of where all the news I read about it, the layers of neglect to get into an actor's hand. That that seems to be glossed over, and it's more maybe it's because Alec Baldwin's more famous, but that's what I see it. The focus when I read stories is did he pull the trigger? Did he put it back? And it's like, how many layers of negligence were there to that point? Like, as an actor
Yeah.
supposed to know? I mean, maybe it's in part of the acting requirements is you take firearm safety if you're in a movie with it. I don't know.
And
yeah,
and that
I
would
would
be
think
that
so.
I could forgive. I mean, it's a horrible thing that happened, but I mean, I could kind of understand if you were a new actor, never having been in an action or Western type movie with firearms and this or the other. Alec Baldwin's been around this stuff his entire life.
Yeah.
He should have known better. He should have known that the armorer was the person who was supposed to hand him that gun. He should have
Yeah.
known that the armorer is not only supposed to hand him the gun, but also go through the ammunition with him.
Yeah.
So it's negligence on his part. It's negligence on the armorer's part, who definitely should have known better. There's the definite difference between a blank and a live round. You can tell the difference by looking at them, because you
Can
have
you?
to be able to. Yeah, I mean, it's basically a flat top. There's no projectile at the end of it.
Hmm.
Right.
It's typically a
sense.
plastic or a wax
There is a huge difference
top.
between a live round and a dummy
Yeah.
round.
So
Huge.
that tells me she did not take the ammunition out of the gun and look at it.
No, it sounds like she just
Especially-
looked at it from behind.
Yeah, she just okay,
Yeah.
yeah, there's stuff in there. No, you don't do that. You don't do that whenever you're responsible for people's lives.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And plus, not to mention that Alec Baldwin is the producer of the film, one of the producers. Like, he should
Mhm.
realize that a lot of responsibility lies on his shoulders to basically, film set etiquette and safety precautions.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
and
definitely
he's anti-gun.
Yeah,
He's anti-gun, so he's. I mean, I hate to sound like conspiracy theorist here, but I mean, the guns don't just go off.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Right.
If they do, you're part of a movie with special effects that are making that happen. Especially a single action, you have to pull that hammer back, and now once you pull that hammer back, a good stiff wind could knock that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
according
could.
to from what I
Fire, but-
read, about this, and y'all know more about guns than I do, but he cocked the hammer back, and the courts have hired another like a third party armorer who's been doing it for a long time in the film, and he says that there's no way that gun hammer will go unless the trigger was pulled.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
and
interesting.
there's also with those, I don't know exactly what kind of replica firearm or 45 long Colt that he had, but there are, there's a saying like you don't want to go around half cocked. So there are safety measures with those firearms, safeties used very loosely, to where it's like 4 or 5 clicks that you would hear, and you would have one that would be like the first click or second click or something like that. But if you pull the trigger and the hammer goes down, it won't actually ignite the primer. Now, I wouldn't actually recommend that for anybody, but that is something that was made with those, just in case, in the holster or something like that, in the old days of people wearing these things in holsters outside of the waistband holsters, that if the hammer does go back a little bit, it's not going to fall and hit the primer of the bullet. But he had to actually pull it back enough to then pull the trigger and have it slam forward and hit the primer. But I mean, all in all, I hope that this, being that now that Brandon Lee was killed by a prop gun, and then years later this happens, it's like something does need to happen in the film industry, that if you're using guns, everybody, doesn't matter if you're the cook or the actor or the grip or something like that, everybody needs to go through firearm safety training, because this is serious stuff. And whether it's a prop rubber gun or whatever, you treat it like a real firearm and you don't point it at anybody and all that kind of crap. But yeah, I hope that the film industry looks at this and does some major changes.
Yep.
Yep,
Regardless
agreed.
of who tells you it's safe, do not trust it. You make sure
Yeah.
it's safe.
Or if you're
You
not
are
comfortable
responsible
with
for
it,
that.
then don't take it.
Don't touch it. Just don't
Yeah,
touch
don't
it.
touch it. Just don't touch it. Like if I hand somebody a gun and they say I would rather not, I totally respect that. That's fine.
And I'm telling you,
Go for
and Tremors doesn't get enough credit because there's
Oh,
a
God.
scene in Tremors where Bert, the Reba McEntire's husband, they're big gun people and hunters and all that stuff in the movie, and he hands a revolver to this teenager. It ends up being an empty revolver in the film, but when he hands it back to Bert, saying, "Bert, you jerk, it's empty." He goes, "Yeah, you didn't think I was going to give you a loaded gun." And as he's saying that, he is actually
Checking.
he opens up, he looks at it, and he pops it back, and he puts it in his pants. He puts it back in his holster because he's actually on film demonstrating gun safety. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That is unlike the Chucky 3, the paintball fight. Chucky swaps out live ammo.
Oh,
No paintball
It's-
gun.
It's also unlike Ginger Dead Man, where the
Oh,
6-shooter has 1,000 rounds in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Well,
Yeah.
I'm interested in following this case. I have a feeling both of them are going to get some jail time, but there might be some facts that we don't know about yet that hasn't been released.
I mean, I bet you the armor will probably get jail time. Alec Baldwin will get a slap on the wrist and community
He'll get a
service
fine.
and
He'll get a fine.
house
Yep.
arrest or something.
We'll start
It's-
seeing some anti-gun commercials or something from him.
I mean, it's
But-
crap that with his stature and he could face up to 18 months or up to 5 years in prison, but he probably won't serve a day in the cell, and that's sad to me.
Yeah.
That I mean, the armor is probably going to take the fall on this for sure,
Mhm. Yep.
with jail time, anyways.
And even if by some miracle to her, she doesn't, her career's over.
Oh yeah,
It's
nobody's
over.
going to hire her as an
Nobody's
armor.
going to hire her anymore. Yeah.
No,
No one's
sure
going to
they
hire her at a gun range. Nobody's going to hire her at a gun store. I mean, nothing.
Yeah, and this was her first movie, from what I read.
Oh. Well, that sucks. I mean, sucks that somebody had to die. That's the end of it,
So, moving on, let's gentlemen, let's talk about some of the movies that we reviewed for the month of January. We did Emancipation, so
Horrible.
skipping that. We
Anyway.
did.
We've
I mean, unless anybody has some new insight about Emancipation that they want to talk about.
I went back and looked at the ratings, like the IMDb ratings, because I try to just go in totally blind and watch it and form my own opinion about it. I don't like to be skewed before I go watch it. And I actually forgot to go back and look at Emancipation's rating. So I went earlier, and so it actually has a higher IMDb rating than Troll, which but if you look at the graph of how it gets there, it's got that really unusual one. So normally when you have something that's like a 6, you're going to have like a spike in the middle, then they're going to waterfall a little bit down the like higher and lower. But this has a little bit of that representation of the waterfall in the middle, where like the 5 and 6 are higher and the 4 and the 7 are lower. But then the 1 and the 10 are also really high on it. So it's I think they're the highest too. So I guess it's polar. It was pretty polarizing. For the as far as what the ratings.
Yeah,
data
you've
looks
got
like.
3,056 votes for 1, 3,123 votes for 10, and 3,313 for 7.
Yeah, it's an unusual graph. Of,
Yeah, it's very
rating.
it's very
did it-
wonky.
What did it get on Rotten
6.1.
Tomatoes?
Oh, sorry, 6.1 on IMDb.
6.1 is too generous on IMDb.
So it got a 45% and a 55% for audience, 45 for critics. So that's bang in the middle.
That's probably closer to what I am on it. Probably
I mean, the
even lower.
IMDb rating averages out to a 6.1. 6.1 like it's an IP address. 6.1.
I do like how
The internet.
IMDb has started to do like a matrix of demographic now. So you get your regular score. You can scroll down. There's just some interesting visual data displays. So it's like, okay, women over 45 on average gave this, a higher rating, but
Oh, really? I haven't
males
seen that.
yeah. If you click on a rating now on
They
IMDb,
sure did. Wow.
they just rolled this out somewhat recently. It's
Hmm.
pretty interesting. I don't know how they're verifying that data, but it's just visually interesting. Nothing too deep in it.
Huh.
That's
That's
pretty
very
cool.
interesting. Very cool.
It's very
Yeah, there it is, a little-
YouTube-ish of them breaking it all out. Analytics.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh yeah, arithmetic mean 6.1.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not a good movie to me.
No.
I'm
No.
glad to never have to go and revisit that film, to be honest.
I mean, I hope to see Will Smith in something serious again, but something better written.
Our audience wasn't too kind in the comments of our Emancipation review on YouTube. They
No, they
they
weren't.
do not like Will Smith.
No.
No,
No.
Yeah. They weren't.
I have
So
to
the next
confess,
movie.
I did not look at the comments.
Yeah. So then we also did Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which was a fantastic movie. It's a stark contrast to Emancipation. Like, it's actually
Mhm.
fun. It has
Well,
color.
I mean, I don't know if that's a fair comparison.
I would say it was fun.
That-
I mean,
that it's
No, I'm
fun.
saying
I mean,
that I'm comparing it
Emancipation's
to
gonna be tough to make
Emancipation.
fun.
Yeah.
it was fun until death happened. But
I don't know. It's just highly stylized and like
very
Del Toro
colorful.
movies. Yeah,
No, I know what
it
you're
was-
saying. It's just
I know.
it,
So nobody got anything interesting about Pinocchio.
That's
I mean,
great.
I
I
did. I was gonna say, yeah, let's all start at once. No, but I was gonna say I did watch the documentary, the making of.
I did too. Yep,
that
that's where I was
Rowan,
going.
suggested. That was really cool to watch. I really enjoyed that.
That was one of the better making of documentaries that I've seen in quite a while. I really liked how they explained everything, and how it relates to real actors. How he's like, and this is what you see in working with real actors. This is what we need to do, and his Del Toro's passion for making this stop motion film just like a full length regular motion picture with live people is amazing.
Yeah.
And incidentally, just as an aside, I always wondered whether Guillermo del Toro and the other Del Toro,
Guillermo.
Benicio del
Are they
Toro,
related?
they are not related.
No.
Like
didn't think
at
so.
all. I mean, they don't look
Imagine
alike.
that. Imagine that people with two of the same last names not related.
Yeah. Speaking of behind the scenes
I was gonna-
stuff, I just gotta say, I think my favorite ever like making of documentary is Hearts of Darkness. That
Oh yeah.
what's his name's wife made
Yeah.
while they were filming Apocalypse Now.
Mm-hmm. My only
Coppola.
problem with Hearts of
Coppola?
Darkness is it's so long.
I don't know.
It's like
just
half
like
as
the
long
movie?
as the movie.
I mean, Apocalypse Now is pretty damn long, but I don't know.
This is an interesting thing. An interesting.
No, but no, I
documentary.
do. I agree. I really enjoy that documentary. It's just really long. I mean, you gotta go to the bathroom beforehand.
the Pinocchio had a pretty stark difference in IMDb versus Rotten Tomato ratings. That's pretty interesting. It's like high 70s on IMDb, which surprises me. And then like anything animated, I feel like on Rotten Tomatoes, it's up in the 97, 91.
Mm.
audience and critics. So yeah, I'm curious why it's such a. I mean, it's a pretty drastic difference. Like 20 points. But like I went through the reviews and it's like I couldn't find hardly any review criticizing it. But maybe IMDb's got some built-in.
So we got a comment on the stream here. They asked. I'm pretty sure they were talking about Emancipation. They said, "Do you feel that the content got the rating rather than the movie itself? Like since it was a true story and such."
Interesting question. So because of the subject matter.
Yeah, I mean, you do kind of see some of these movies that are based on true stories get higher ratings just because of the emotional attachment.
Sure.
But for me, I mean, I have no emotional attachment to it. I mean, I have no idea what it was like to live back then. But all I can do is, I mean, really, yeah, you feel terrible for the guy, and if any of that actually did happen, that's just even more, sad. But I mean, as a movie, I mean, it
See,
would rate lower in my head.
we here at Screenwrite made the mistake of reviewing Hidden Figures
Oh,
and looking at.
Which I still say is a good movie.
I
Oh,
do
it's a
too.
fantastic
I
movie.
think it's a good movie as well. But if you're looking for a historically accurate film, that is not. And the same thing with this. That definitely factored into my don't go watch it recommendation. Because when you look at the actual what limited historical facts that there are that can be proven, it doesn't even follow those when they really could have. They could have followed the historical account of his life and still made a really good film.
That's pretty much what I was gonna say. Because we talked a little bit about it on our review that this guy had such a interesting life that they don't even cover in the movie, and so it's
Yeah.
kind of like I feel like there was stuff that they didn't cover in the movie that could have made it a more compelling movie to watch instead of a guy running through a forest for 2 hours.
Swamp.
Swamp.
A damn
Forest.
swamp for
A
2
swampy
hours. They had no
forest.
color whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well, it did have color, but
It had
it
5%
didn't.
color.
It was weird. It threw me out of the movie. Like,
Oh yeah.
make up your mind.
It's so
It was-
Color or no
distracting.
color.
It was post Louisiana volcano eruption, so
It's like it
everything
was.
had
It was
ash
like everything.
over it.
Yeah, like everything had a layer of ash over it. It's like, why? Just stop. I don't get it.
So who was that asked the question, Kyle?
Yeah, Cool Vet 2010.
Oh, okay, well thanks, Cool
So,
Vet.
yeah.
I like
Yeah,
your name
thanks for
too.
the question. Yeah,
Vets are awesome.
they are. Awesome.
So yeah. So let's talk about the third movie that we reviewed, which was Troll, that came out in 2022. It's on
Mhm.
Netflix. Kind of an interesting movie. Also at the same time, kind of not, which is interesting in itself.
Yeah.
They were
I
speaking a weird language.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of funny thing about this. I don't know why, but I was started watching Netflix's Lilyhammer. It was a
Mhm.
show back in like 2012. It was like the first Netflix originally produced show, and that show spawned like all the other streaming services to go, holy crap, and they start making their own original content. Right? They become they move
I remember
from
that.
they moved from streaming service to content creators, basically, overnight with that show. So I'm sitting here watching it, and if you've never watched Lilyhammer, long story short, it's a former mob gang member who turns state witness against his mob boss, and he gets put in witness protection, and he moves to Lilyhammer, Norway. That's the basis. It's a fish out of water show, right?
Mhm.
But what's funny about it is, as I'm sitting here watching it, in season 1, towards the end of the show, they go to a theme park, and it's the same theme park that's in the Troll movie.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
and
didn't know
they actually do a lot of footage around that same exact area that Troll was shot in. So that you see the ticket booth thing, it all looks exactly the same. So 10 years
Oh.
earlier, it all looks exactly the same. Remember that shot of the troll when he's coming up to the theme park and they show that statue of the troll and
Uh-huh.
he
Oh
walks
yeah,
up?
for sure.
That statue's still there. It was still there,
Yep.
it was there. Of course it was still there because 2012 numbers, 2012, it
Yeah.
looked exactly the same as it does in 2022 is what I was trying to say. Yeah, it's just fascinating. So it's a whole theme park. It's got like go-karts. It's
Yeah.
got like it's a small world type of ride. It's got
I got
So
actually got some.
is
I
it like
actually got the-
themed like it's troll
it's a
carts
troll
and,
themed
and
theme
it's a
park,
troll
yeah.
world.
It's
You
a-
know, it's like it does
Yep.
those kind of things.
I wouldn't necessarily go that far.
Like it's
but-
gonna they like get on the troller coaster.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
god. Okay. No,
God.
we're yeah.
That was good.
Please time out with the puns.
The trolley go around, you know
No.
that, right?
I feel
I
like
can
John
do
is
it all day,
trolling
folks.
us. I
Yeah.
feel like
Oh
he's
my
trolling us.
God. Please
But I
stop.
will say though that the to me that what makes Lilyhammer, I know we didn't watch Lilyhammer, but what makes Lilyhammer Steven Van Zandt,
Yes.
phenomenal actor, love him, he's great, very unique. I recommend watching it. I've watched it years ago, and I definitely recommend watch that.
Ooh, Captain Chris from Troll is in one episode of Lilyhammer.
I was going to mention that also,
No
is
way.
that he is in the movie as well. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he's probably a Norwegian actor and everything, but the amusement park is actually considered an amusement park, and it's called Hunderfossen.
Gesundheit.
Excuse me. But it's the troll is guarding important treasure from Norwegian culture. So it's situated in beautiful surroundings, offers attractions based on Norwegian culture and tradition.
Like it's
Play,
really guarding
learn.
some treasure, or like that's the lore of the park.
It's
That's the lore of the
It's
I don't want our viewers to get confused.
well, okay. So it's a Hunderfossen Family Park is known as a fairy tale park in all of Norway and is one of Norway's most popular tourist attractions. There are over 60 rides and places of interest for the whole family. Look there.
Nice.
We
Yeah.
should take a
You know what I
trip.
hear? Franchise. That's what I hear.
No.
We should do a
No?
remote pod from there. Just go-
Oh, that'd
That
be
would
awesome.
hilarious.
That'd
That
be
would be awesome.
Right in front of the statue.
Yeah,
If there's
there's
anybody that
also-
wants to fund that trip out there watching,
That's right.
let us know.
We need more Patreon members for that, fellas.
Right? They do
It
have
looks
like
like there's
really
also a
ice thing.
character in Lilyhammer. Looks like one of the main characters is called Sigrid, who was the other character who I couldn't stand.
Oh, yes,
Oh.
that's right.
She
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
hacker,
Oh, really?
Sigrid. So just the same name.
Yeah, I feel
same
like Lilyhammer
character,
is
same
a
character.
town of like 30 people, and they all just work on movies and films and stuff.
Probably
Because
not.
you keep
Makes
seeing them
sense.
in all the Norway movies. So anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. So does anybody else have
Yeah.
any comments about Troll, or have they watched it again? Have they changed their mind?
I have not watched it again.
Nah,
No,
I'm
I haven't
still-
watched it again, but I still recommend it.
I'm still disappointed. I assume it's like just tripping at the finish line on that movie. I'm still disappointed I didn't recommend it.
Yeah.
It just falls apart, man.
Whoa. They got like Mercedes-Benz go-karts. The thing is awesome.
Yeah, in Lilyhammer, the episode, it almost turns into like the end of Beverly Hills Cop 3, where they're like running around through the theme park, like shooting at each other and all that stuff. That's what it reminded me of.
Wow.
So like they get in like go-karts and race, and it's kind of stupid, to be honest. But it was kind of fun seeing the theme park from Troll that was in there, and everything looks exactly the same. Nothing has changed in 10 years. That
Wow.
is what blew my mind the most.
That is interesting.
So
Good catch.
let's talk about we got a little bit longer here, and we need to basically decide what the 3 movies that we're going to review for February. So Kyle had a good idea. The Oscars are just around the corner. It's coming out, what'd you say, March 6th?
March 12th.
March 12th.
Yep, March 12th. I don't think Siri knows either. So
Yeah.
it's actually
I'm
Sunday,
glad-
March 12th, 2023.
I'll have to say, I'm glad that they pushed the Oscars back to March because it
Yes.
always ended up being the same day or weekend as the Daytona 500.
Right.
And you had to pick one or the other because it's just very frustrating for me.
It's the guy that's he has to press a button. It's like
Oh,
watch the Daytona 500
Right.
or watch the Oscars.
It's like, wait, no, guys who are watching the Oscars aren't into car racing.
That's
I
a
mean,
really
that just
weird.
doesn't.
There's a small Venn diagram. Very
Yeah,
little.
I was about to
overlap.
say.
Yep.
Like just John and John's the only
I
one
like
in the middle.
NASCAR, but I also like Colin Farrell in that one movie. That was great.
So since we can only pick 3 movies, I thought it would be a good idea
the
to.
law.
What was that?
It's the law. We
Yeah,
can
it's the
only
law.
pick
It's
three.
the law.
Yeah. It's just the
Land of
law of
law.
the land. We can only pick 3 movies, so I thought it might be a good idea to pick 3 movies from the Best Picture nominees for this year. So the Oscars, the Academy, they just released the nominees. I think yesterday or last night or something like that.
Today.
Oh, today. Okay, so it's just
Today.
today.
This
So just really quick, I will go through the nominees for you guys. So it was All Quiet on the Western Front,
Mhm.
Avatar 2: The Way of Water, Elvis, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. That's one title. Tar, The Banshees of Inisherin. I know I'm mispronouncing that.
Inisherin or something like that.
Inisherin, sure.
Inisherin. Yeah.
Um,
It's an Irish town, I think.
insert Irish town here.
Yep.
The Fablemans, Top Gun Maverick,
Ooh.
Triangle of Sadness,
That sounds
and
happy.
Women Talking, which I can only assume is a horror movie.
Oh,
Oh,
dang.
hey.
Wow. We're not
A
one-sided or
feminist
anything.
would say.
We're not judging. We're not judging.
Leave your hate mail in the comments.
That's right. Tell us what you really think.
Yeah. So that's what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I
That's
lost
10.
count. That's 10. That is 10. Yep.
Damn.
So basically, I think we should let fate choose. However,
boy.
I am not opposed to each one of us getting a
A
veto.
mulligan? Okay.
What do you guys think about that? So we
That's-
would potentially
that's
narrow
fine.
it down to 6
Yeah.
films.
I think all of our mulligans would probably be against Avatar, but
Yep,
that's just
I would use all
just
3 of them.
me not really wanting to watch a 3-hour movie or 3.5, or was it 5 now? I
Okay,
don't
I'll
know.
tell
I
you
lost
what.
count
I'm
after
going to
hour
start, since John hit us up with some terrible ass puns earlier. I'm going to start with John. And John, out of those 10 lists, which one would you like to get rid of?
Oh, we're doing that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That'd be kind of interesting. All right.
You're muted.
Oh,
There
I
you
did
go.
that to myself after.
it's like we're in a Zoom. It's like we're in a Zoom chat.
Oh, you
Right?
yeah. I didn't accidentally mute you after the puns, did I? So
Anyway.
yeah, out of those 10, you get
Avatar.
first. Avatar 2.
Avatar,
just
get
right
it
off
out.
the
Get
bat.
out of there. Get out of there.
Okay.
It's
Wow, right out of the gate.
sheer principle. I have not watched the first one. I'm not watching the second one.
Okay.
I
Fair
refuse.
play.
Even for you 3, I'm not doing it.
Kyle, I'm coming to you next. Out
Oh,
of the
no.
remaining 9, which one do you want to veto? You want to knock out of the running?
Oh no, because I haven't really done a whole lot of research on all of these, but
Well,
I looked
can...
at Tar because I'm like, okay,
Ooh,
so I looked up
okay.
Tar, and it's about a female composer, and I'm like, I would kind of want to see that just because it's about a composer. I think that would be kind of interesting. The Triangle of Sadness.
It's got Woody
Well,
Harrelson in it.
Yeah, the IMDb page looks nothing like what my brain made the picture of.
I will say this: it's a commentary because I watched the trailer earlier, and it's a commentary on the super rich.
Okay.
and in their the way they view things versus normal people.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's Secession, the TV
Well,
show.
like there's a scene in the, I mean, obviously you guys you've seen the cover art there. There's a scene in the trailer where one of the main rich ladies says, "You need to clean the sails on this boat." And Woody Harrelson's like, "Well, okay, ma'am. We have an engine, so we don't have sails." And she's like, "But clean the sails." And he's like, "Okay, I'll clean the sails. That's a great idea." So it's that kind of
The one thing that I'm
commentary.
kind of, I guess the whale wasn't actually.
I know. I was
good
surprised
enough.
that The Whale is not nominated. I think
Yeah.
it's nominated for Best Actor, but not Best Picture.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. I'll come back to you, Kyle. How about that?
that's fine. Yeah.
And actually, if you know what, since Cool Vet, since she was instrumental, she asked a question which was really cool. I might be inclined to let her get a veto as well
How do you know it's a her? Could
because I
be.
know her.
Oh.
But we will let that person then. we won't guess genders. I
You
guess.
can't. Yeah, you can't
Assume genders.
assume gender on YouTube. You
Yeah.
can't do that.
So Rowan, I'm going to you then.
Elvis.
Cutting Elvis out.
Man, that's a really good movie. Wow.
You
All
hound
right.
dog.
Dang.
I mean, I wanted to do Avatar. I mean,
So I took it. I caused him to veto Elvis.
out of spite.
Yeah.
Getting
So
spammed by these stupid messages on YouTube. But anyway.
yeah. Well, so if Cool Vet, if you wanna speak up real quick, here are the. Oh, why did it do that? There we go. Here are the remaining list here, and I'm waiting on Kyle to veto one.
Yeah, so I think I'll probably just veto Triangle of Sadness.
Okay, Triangle of Sadness.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna veto one as well. I've actually already seen All Quiet on the Western Front, and I've already seen The Fablemans.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, we actually reviewed All Quiet on the Western Front. Did we?
No,
We haven't?
No.
I could have sworn we did.
I think that was a dream you had.
Maybe. Maybe I'm just,
do you want to change
Reviewing-
your veto?
reviewing movies.
He's cheating on.
What did you give it in
another
your dream?
review-
What did you give What'd you give
review
it?
tr-
Oh no, I think it was Justin and I watched it obviously separately, but he was like, "Hey, watch this. I'm kind of curious on what you think." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll watch it." And it wasn't that great, but it was good at the same time. I don't know if that makes
Mhm.
sense. But well, Cool Vet 2010 actually said something, but then it was retracted. So
Oh,
Oh,
maybe
there's
they
a
guessed the
conspiracy.
same. Maybe they
It's a
vetoed the same
conspiracy.
one you did.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, so I'm gonna go ahead and veto. I'm gonna veto actually All Quiet on the Western Front as my veto.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right too.
Only my only reason for vetoing that, which I kind of liked it,
Okay.
but
So they said Top Gun Maverick, which I kind of disagree with though. Man, the Top Gun's a good
Well-
movie. It's got the jet pew pews and the
all right.
missiles.
Well, Top Gun Maverick.
Fox 5.
So that leaves us with Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, Tar, The Banshee of the Irish Land, The Fablemans, and Women Talking.
So I'm thinking Cool Vet was not in the Air Force.
Probably
just
not.
throwing that out there. Just wondering.
Or in the Navy, because that's
What's
what
the
Top
movie
Gun
about
is.
the Navy? Yeah.
Yeah, Top Gun's Navy, but close.
Oh,
enough.
are they Navy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
well,
Yep.
I don't know. I just work here.
Yeah, I totally agree. Cool Vet. Elvis
What you
definitely
said?
was better.
Oh.
Elvis was better.
I haven't seen
Totally
Elvis yet.
agree.
They should do a mashup.
I did see Fablemans, and I will have to say that was not what I was hoping it was going to be.
Is Oscar bait?
It's that movie that Spielberg directed that's kind of like autobiographical.
Mm.
It's just some of it's good, some of it's not, and it just doesn't really land, and it's like way too long for what it's supposed to be and all that.
So
But
do we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So okay, so
You're
we
down to
only have 5
5.
left. All
Yep.
right.
So the 5 remaining, like I said, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, The Banshees of Inisherin, whatever, The
Inisherin.
Fablemans,
Ed
yep,
Sheeran. What?
Ed Sheeran, The Banshees of Ed Sheeran,
That'd be
and
terrible.
Women Talking. All right, so that means the moment of truth, fellas. Are you ready for the wheel?
Let's go. Let's
Are
roll.
we doing it in order too? So the first one we pick is the first one we
Yes.
review.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So somebody write this down for me. Here we go.
Okay. Well,
So this
I
is
wrote-
the first one that we are going to be reviewing for week 1 of February, and it looks like it's going
I
to
got
be
a copy.
Tar.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
Yay.
Woo! We got somebody in the back. Woo!
Yeah, really.
It looks like
All
the
right.
Google Chrome logo.
It does, doesn't it?
Not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored. All right. So week 2 of February. Here we go. I'm actually kind of hoping for everything. This is what I was hoping would hit.
Okay. All right.
So Everything Everywhere All at Once.
all at once. All right.
Yay.
And the Oscar goes to.
Which is interesting because there was E-Weekly. They went through every awards show this past year, and they tallied up all of the awards and everything. And basically, long story short, they wrote down like their top prediction for best picture this year, and it happened to be Everything Everywhere All at Once was their pick based off of all of the awards that everything has gotten. So we need to spin one more time, and this is going to be the third and final movie that we're going to be reviewing for February, and that is going to be The Banshees. Oh,
Come on.
yes.
Come on.
I'm assuming Rowan was not wanting The Banshees of.
That's about Ed
Inisherin?
Sheeran, right?
No.
No,
That's the Ed Sheeran biopic.
God, no. That would have been my veto.
Yes.
If no, it's actually honestly, I think it looks kind of interesting. It stars
Colin
Ed Sheeran.
Farrell.
Colin Farrell and
Brendan
the other.
Gleeson.
Yeah, that guy. I really like that guy.
I really like
Uh,
Brendan
and-
Gleeson, yeah.
Carrie Condon. A fellow Irish girl.
Yeah, are you related?
No.
No. Okay.
She's
How
Irish.
much percentage Irish are you?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Big fat goose egg.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
happens to everybody, I guess.
Cool. So, who wrote those down?
I did. I got
John
him.
did.
Cool. So
John,
what?
definitely wrote him down. 100%.
Cool.
100%.
I'm sure.
I am kind of. I'm interested in seeing all 3 of these.
am too.
I'm glad that. I'm glad we kind of left it to fate. I'm glad that we had some vetoes. And yeah, thanks, Cool Vet 2010 for
for helping us out.
helping us out, because that would have been.
Yeah. So
I'm
John,
glad that I'm seeing 3 different things, because I like
3
I like-
different types of movies too.
Oh,
Yeah, big time.
drastically.
They're drastically different from each one, from what I know, and I haven't seen any of these. So
Neither have I.
cool. So John, real quick, run down the 3 that we're doing.
Okay, we are going to watch Tar. I guess that's how you say it. Tar. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and The Banshees of Ed Sheeran.
No, Inisherin.
Inisherin. Oh.
Inisherin.
Sorry. You auto-corrected to Ed Sheeran. Sorry.
We gotta by the time we watch this, we'll be experts of how to say that word.
Of Ed Sheeran. Oh,
Yeah, Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. Cool.
I guess.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and close out this live stream. Had a lot of fun. Don't know about you
Yeah.
guys.
Absolutely. This was great.
We're
time.
going to be coming back. Not this coming Saturday, but the Saturday after that, the first Saturday of January. We're going to be looking at Tar. So
Woohoo!
don't know anything about it. There we go.
Looking fun.
So
Well, I can read you a synopsis.
Kate Blanchett stars in it.
sure, go ahead.
Yeah, it's set in the international world of Western classical music. The film centers on Lydia Tarr, widely considered one of the greatest living composer-conductors, and the very first female director of a major German orchestra.
Hmm.
So that's,
So like the female version of Mr. Holland's Opus.
I guess.
So what? Nobody remember that movie?
No, I love that movie.
Oh, about to say.
No, yeah, I love Mr. Holland's Opus.
I mean,
Kyle, have you
I
not
would.
seen
But
Mr.
no.
Holland's Opus?
I have, but I'm
Oh.
just
I've not
I
seen
don't
it.
want to like
You-
compare
what-
this movie to that.
Rowan hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I don't think
March, here we
that's
come.
up Rowan's alley. Like I don't think Richard Dreyfuss turns into a monster and starts terrorizing the orchestra.
no, he doesn't.
I liked Whiplash.
No, Mr. Holland's Opus is a very good movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I remember tearing up a little bit at the end. It's one of those movies that's very difficult to not tear
It makes
up in.
makes you laugh, makes you cry, makes you
mean-
dance with the music. I mean, it's got everything.
Ed Sheeran would be bawling his eyes out in the corner. for Mr.
Darn
Holland's
right.
Opus. I don't know why I'm bagging on Ed Sheeran. I don't.
Sorry,
really know.
Ed Sheeran, if you're ever watching this,
Yeah.
this
The guy's
far
rich,
into
he
the
can take it.
stream, you know.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
he was in an episode of Game of Thrones. He's fine.
Oh no! Fuck it. Oh no! That was the worst shoe hole thing in putting him in that thing and making him sing a damn song around a campfire. That was the most stupid thing. Okay, now that you pissed me off,
Tell us how you really
You
feel.
almost
Justin.
made it through this whole episode without raising your blood pressure, and just like
Right?
right at the end.
I know my
We
watch
need to
is like
calm it
tapping
down.
me, saying you're about to have a heart attack. All right, so I think we're good here. We're gonna watch those 3 movies. Check us out on the first Saturday of January for those. Thanks
February.
for watching. February. That's what I meant to say. Thanks for watching, and thanks for commenting and helping us out with the show. We try to do this every the last Saturday of every month. We do the live stream.
Tuesday.
So join us, give us your input, ask us anything. I'm sure we'll answer them and all that stuff. So yep. So with that, we'll see you guys next review.
Bye.
So, see ya.